Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. Today I'm making shepherd's pie, but this is an unusual shepherd's pie that I am making. A lot of people make it one way, but this one I'm going to try. It's got wine in it. We use baking soda with the meat and everything else, so there's a lot that's going to be going into this, which is different from stuff that we're familiar with. When we think of shepherd's pie, we think of carrots and peas added to it, and a few seasonings, but this one's going to be done much different. So let's get started on this. I'll turn you down. You need 1.5 pounds, and they're very specific about this, of a 93% lean ground beef, and it's got to be 1.5 pounds. You're also going to specifically need a 10-inch skillet. They stress this as well, so please be aware. Like I said, this is a very unusual one, which is different. If you want to throw your family a curve and say we're having shepherd's pie and they think one thing and then you come out with this, just go, oh wow, you know, just to throw them off. You know, Sandy, you forgot to wash those rims. I will be right back. I forgot something. Okay, I fixed that problem. All right, now what? We need 2 tablespoons of water added to this. I told you this is going to be very different from anything that you've done before. We need 1 teaspoon salt, a 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. I'll have to grind mine up. You should know that by now. Where did I put it? Okay. By the way, how we're going to put this. I know you're going to be surprised when we do this one. Like I told you, there's many different ways of making dishes, different seasonings, different approaches, and everything else. This is why some of these dishes you think I'm making them the same way. I'm actually not. It's a different recipe. Or I'll add seasonings and change the whole thing around. That's what people do. They change things around and then they make a cookbook. My son keeps telling me, one of them says, Mommy, you should make a cookbook. I said, why? Women of my age, we all made our own cookbooks. We took recipes, we wrote them up, and we made our own cookbooks. All right, and baking soda. A 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. I have time today. I hope to do a live. Don't know how it's going to go. We'll find out. Now they say and mix until thoroughly combined. Then we're going to let it sit. Now they don't want you to mash it like this. They want you to use your fingers and mix this up, because they don't want it to become tough, and that's what they're trying to prevent. Now when I make patties, I smash them. They probably say, don't. I said, I have to get them to stick together. I just ordered some wild boar bacon. Bit on the expensive side, yeah. Well, I had a little extra money, so I splurged. Wild boar, if you don't know what it is, you city folks and people who have never gone hunting, that's wild pig. And their meat tastes different. It's the same thing like wild turkey. The domesticated turkeys that you have at Thanksgiving and have are all white meat, but when you have wild turkey, it's all practically dark meat, and it's got a much different flavor, which is really nice. Now you're going to take this and put this on the side. This turns out really good. I might try making it with venison, just to see how it come out, but I have to add some pork to it because venison, wild game, is extremely lean. This is why the Indians used bear fat. They could get that fat that they had to cook with so the meat wasn't so tough and all. Okay, meanwhile, place potatoes in a medium saucepan, add water just to cover, and they say add a tablespoon of salt, which I'm not going to do. And they say peel the potatoes, which you know I'm not. I'll cut it with the skin on. All right, you need 2.5 pounds. That's it, Sandra. Break the dishes. I know. So if you have a scrub brush, start scrubbing and I'll be back. Okay, you're going to need 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And you're going to melt it. Don't worry. We'll get back to the potatoes in a second. Come on, Sandra, before you burn your fingers. Oh, you could tell I was burning that much. That's somewhere else. Melt that butter very slowly. Now, they say to sit there and peel the potatoes. I'm not, because I know all the nutrients are in the skin here. But if you're going to peel your potatoes, they want them in 1-inch cubes so you can sit there and boil them. I can boil them just with their skins on as well. And can I mash them? Sure I can. I can even use a hand mixer if I wish to make it easy on me. Feel how tough that skin is. Wherever this potato grew, it's going to be a cold winter. See? Things talk to you if you know how to read them. So Idaho must have a very cold winter coming up. If these are Idaho potatoes and they come from Idaho. They used to. I don't know where they come from now. But I did know at one time they came from there. I better get some water in there before I burn my potatoes. And you're going to boil these potatoes until they are tender. And you know what's good for breads? Potato water. That's why I don't add any salt when I'm cooking my potatoes. Because I'll use the water in making breads and stuff. Even in biscuits you could use it. Women had to be ingenious like that because they had to make that food. If they had this and they didn't have that, they had to think of a way to make the food work. And we've walked away from it with cookbooks sitting there saying, oh, you have to have this and you have to have that. This is where I'll take flaxseed seeds and grind them up, or leave them whole and put them in biscuits and stuff. And if I use it in muffins, I'll sit there and make sure I put a fruit in with it. So it's like having nuts and fruit. Like I boiled more corn cobs. A second attempt. If you're watching this video, you're going to see me try once again. I went back to investigating and found out I am not supposed to stir it. Some idiot told me to stir it. They messed me up. So I sat there and threw all that out. It was so crystalline, I couldn't believe it. I deleted the video, but I left it up for 24 hours for anybody who wanted to see a boo-boo. Oh. The skin is really tough on these. It's usually not this tough, but this is definitely telling me. I don't know if it's going to get over here, but that's how people used to know, because they grew their food according to how the vegetables were acting. Could tell them we're going to have a warm winter, bad winter, or whatever. And now the food comes from all over. You really can't read it, and the skill is being lost. Like I used to wake up hearing the Farmer's Almanac. They had it for a while up here, and I was happy to hear it because it would tell me what the prices were going to be, if it's going to be high or low on what products and everything, and I could adjust my shopping accordingly. I don't have that luxury anymore because they want to control the market. And if people could read it, the futures, they used to come on at 5 o'clock in the morning. My father was get the house up early. I mean, I was in bed by 8 o'clock, even as a teenager, 8 o'clock. When I dated, that was something else. Then my older brother was always locking me out of the bloody house because he got home before I did. Father found me on the porch more than one morning in the morning. because my brother locked me out. He went to get the paper, and his daughter was sitting on the porch. And my boyfriend would stay with me and tell my father, because that was the proper thing to do. You didn't allow a female to go home. You had to escort her. You had to pick her up and take her back and make sure that she was in the house before you left, that she was safe. Melted, put it to the side. Okay, I'm going to finish cutting these potatoes and I'll be back. Okay, you're going to need 8 scallions chopped. And you're going to put them in a bowl on the side. Put that to the side. You need a half a cup of milk. Put that to the side. I know we're putting a lot of stuff to the side. Don't worry, we'll get to everything. Need 2 carrots. going to get another bowl where you're going to put these carrots in there too. And another bowl. Calling somebody. Now the 10-inch frying pan has to be one that can go in the oven because we're going to bake it in the 10-inch frying pan. So everything's going to be done in that 10-inch frying pan, so be aware of it. That's why they want the lean beef. Other than that, your shepherd's pie is going to be greasy. Now they want you to chop these carrots up. So chop we are. Maybe a bigger cutting board would have been better. It's leaving.
I'm going to be feeding everybody at this rate.
bowl. And put it to the side. I hope I chopped it enough. Bet you I have to chop something. Something else. If there's no more chopping, I'll let you know in a minute. No, we got an onion. I have to do the onion. Sitting right there in the garlic. We got more chopping to go. So put this to the side. Where do you want me to put the onions and the garlic? Okay, we're going to need another bowl. We got an onion. Where did I put the garlic? It's somewhere around here. We're still waiting on the potatoes. Idaho potatoes are drier potato. They take longer. So see, those of you who don't know how to prep, by me not talking and showing you, you can go into your home and practice. You know? Because there's a lot of people that really don't know how to cook. I saw a woman do scrambled eggs. When I watched her do that, I was shocked. And she was like 15 years older than me when I was young. That's why a lot of women won't have a woman in the kitchen with them, because they don't want to see what they're doing. And the kitchen is their domain. you decide to broil, okay. Oh, come off of it. I turned the flame down. There's a lot of starch in it. Yeah, I see what you're doing. Took care of that. All right, you need 4 ounces of mushrooms. They want white mushrooms, but I want the brown ones because they have more of an earthy taste to them. So I'm going to use that today. You're comfortable with your cooking. You have people over, you're not afraid of them to see you in the kitchen working. But when you don't know, it's very uncomfortable. That's why I'm always respectful when I go to my girlfriends' homes. If they ask me to come in, you know, I'll set the table or something unless they actually ask me to help them cook. I won't walk past that point. Got a call yesterday from one of my girlfriends that had a problem, and she said, Sandy, how do I know? And I said, I told her what to do and she would know. I'm going to chop these up. I was just getting ready to tell you, at least the mushrooms won't go. Guess what? It went. I didn't believe it rolled. This is going to give it a nice earthy taste. So I can't wait to try it. As I was telling you, this wild boar bacon. Oh, we're definitely going to have pancakes or something where I can have that. Okay, that goes with the onions. We're not done yet. We're still going. Okay, they want 2 garlics minced. It's a little more of they want it minced. They said 2 garlics, I'm putting 3 in. Why did I do that? Don't put it in there. Leave the garlic separate. I just threw some of it in there. Oh. I get carried away with my own cooking. Okay, well, I got most of it back. All right, leave that there. Let me see if there's anything else. Anything else you want me to chop? Oh, you want the tomato paste and the garlic together. All right. How am I going to do this? I don't think I have anything small enough. But that is... Okay, we're going to have to put some of this together as we do this. We're waiting for the potatoes. We got the garlic done. We got the mushrooms and onions here. You have the scallions here. And you got your milk on the side. Let me put it all over here. You got your butter done. Anything else? Oh, I don't know. You got your carrots done. I've got something in that one. Okay. Can I put that in? Hold on, I'm just thinking right now. I'll be right back. Okay, you're going to strain your potatoes. I want potato water because it makes excellent bread. So I'm going to do it this way so I can save the fluid. Once you drain them, that's why I don't add any salt into the water. I'll salt them later. You're going to add these potatoes back to that empty pot, and you're going to dry your potatoes out. And how will you know? There'll be a film on the bottom. That's how you can tell. God, I got so much here. So you stir them around, and when you see a film on the bottom, you'll know your potatoes are done drying out. Because a lot of people drain it and throw it in, but there's already a lot of water in it. And you want to dry that water up. bottom of mine. Let's see if I can show you. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but we're going to try. I'm going to pull it to the side. Can you see that film? I don't know if you can, but that's it right there. Sandra, you're throwing everything on the floor today. Yeah, I have a big masher, but I'm using this one. I do better with this one. I don't know what's going on, but it's quite noisy for so early in the morning. Take your melted butter. Okay, you need 1 egg yolk added to that 1/2 cup of milk. All right. Put your scallions in. I told you this is a more elaborate shepherd's pie. All right, now we're going to be adding salt and pepper to taste. Also, I cannot tell you how much to add. You're going to have to adjust that with your taste buds. But you can see this is really done much different than any shepherd's pie we have had before. Okay, taste time. That is so bland without the salt in it. Now I can hear you saying, well, why didn't you add it? Because I needed the water for something else. Okay, that's done. Put it to the side. I'm hoping at this point we can start cooking and putting this together. Like I said, I don't remember the recipes after I read them. And when I come in here and cook, you say, doesn't she read a recipe? Yeah, sure I do. I just don't remember everything. All right. Are we at the skillet point yet? They actually state a broiler safe 10-inch skillet. I have a 10-inch skillet. I stick everything in that. If it melts, then it's gonna melt. But it shouldn't. All right, where's my oil? All right, they want 2 teaspoons of oil in the 10-inch frying pan. Turn it on in a minute. I don't know how this is all going to fit in here. But if you read the bottom of your skillet, it'll tell you if it's a 10-inch or not. Unless they don't do that anymore. All right, to the mushrooms and onions, add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Which one?
You didn't want the oven on, you haven't even told me that. Okay.
Put your mushroom, salt, pepper, and onions in. You need this on medium heat, they're stating. Smells nice, especially if you like mushrooms. Want 1 tablespoon of tomato paste and the garlic added. 2 tablespoons of either red wine or port. What else? I'm going to cook until the wine evaporates. I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of flour. Mix it. Add 1 1/4 cups of beef broth. This is my beef bone broth. Stir and scrape up any of the bits down at the bottom. You'll feel them at this point. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. As soon as I can get the bottle open. They say 2 sprigs of fresh thyme. That's going to be about a teaspoon of thyme, so I'm going to add a teaspoon of thyme. Because I have dry, but I don't have the other. said to add a bay leaf. Well, we like eating these, so I'll just break mine up and put it in here. Some people don't. They'll want to take it out later. But this is very good for gas. Not just for babies, for adults too. If you have a gas problem. And you're going to add your carrots. Let's see. Listen, we gotta add the meat in sooner or later. Okay, they want us to bring this to a boil. Where's my beef? Oh, okay, I have it. They said to check the bottom if there's any brown bits or anything. They want you to scrape them up. We're going to bring this to a boil. We're adding this meat. Say a 10-inch skillet. Now you see why it has to be so lean. We had to cook all the liquid out. You can see this is packed. As you can see, this is going to be really, really full. Look at this, it's packed. All right, I have to get a lid for it. Does this lid fit? Yeah. You want you to turn this to medium low. Down to a simmer. Once it comes to a boil, you turn it down to a simmer. Okay. How long is it going to be like this? Well, we're going to cook this until the beef is done. They said that should be 12 to 15 minutes, okay? So I'll be back in that time. We have everything ready. we're just waiting for that now. Okay. Meat should be done. I've got one more thing we've got to add in. Okay, little bowl, huh? Like I really have another little bowl. What they want you to do is add 2 teaspoons of cornstarch and 2 teaspoons of water into a bowl, and they want you to mix that up. That's what I'm getting right now. This should dry it up some. And you have got up there, oh my God. You have to mix it. Well, that's a thickening agent. As it heats up, it will thicken stuff up. Of course, we're going to put the potatoes on top of this, so you can see that we've got a lot going on here. But I warned you, I said this was going to be most unusual. Now, you see why they wanted lean meat? Because you'd have so much fat floating in this, it'd be ridiculous. Let's see now. If there's anything else, I'm going to be surprised. Now they want you to season it with salt and pepper. So, let me get my pepper out. I'll start banging out some more. You can turn this off. What we're trying to do is get the salt and pepper flavoring down, and from there we'll move forward. See how that cornstarch starts absorbing that liquid. Okay, let me see. I need a spoon. You heard it. I think it has enough salt on it. Now you have to take this shelf at least 5 inches from the broiler. That should be it. See? Yeah, just about 5 inches. Yes, I cleaned it yesterday. I was very busy yesterday. Now they want you to stack the mashed potatoes on top of this. You don't want one seam open. They want the whole thing sealed up. Yeah, right. They're not kidding. They say they want this thing covered. Nice seams. I think this is going to spill over in the oven because they want you to put a pan underneath this baking sheet with a rim so they know it's going to spill. And they want a lot of potatoes on it. Now, the only thing this thing needs is a salad served with it, or vegetables. Because you already have the starch, which is the potatoes, you don't have to worry about adding another starch to it. And if you're thinking of having corn with it, that would be wrong because corn is a starch. It goes in that category because of the way it's grown. I should say it's compounds. That's why I say that would be all that you need is a salad with this. Now this is a very elaborate, as you can see, shepherd's pie. I told my sons we're going to have shepherd pie. They said, oh, okay. They wanted me to pipe this through a plastic bag, but I said, no, I'm not going to. But I do know this is going to spill, so you're really going to have to be careful. Now they want to take a spoon, a fork, and run ridges all over this. Exactly what they want you to do. Okay? That's what they want you to do. Now we have to get something to put it on. I say it better have a rim on, or we're going to have a problem. Okay. Let's see if I can get it in here. Okay. If I mess this oven up, I am going to be so mad. Because I spent all day cleaning it out. All right, they want you to broil this. That means I have to leave the lid open, broil, and start. And they say this could take about 10-15 minutes. That's why you have to have a special fry. Yeah, you can see the mess I made. It's all over the place. This is why. So I'll see you. Keep an eye on it. Do not close that broiler door, because if you do, the heat keeps going higher and higher and higher and higher, and that's what you have to worry about. It's like cleaning your oven, except there's no stop clock or anything on it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and when it's done, I will be back. Okay, here it is. I am not picking this thing up. It is hot. Okay? But that's it. Be very careful with this. It's very heavy. If you go to make it, taking it out of the oven and all, do keep an eye on it, because the little bits get really crunchy and burnt on top a little. But I've always liked it like that, so that's. But anyway, you take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.